Buffalo Wild Wings location in the state of Delaware. Tonight we're in Middletown because we'll be featuring the players and the coaches of the Appoquinimink undefeated baseball and softball teams in just a few moments on the show. Guys, welcome in. We're getting to the midway point of the season. Things are really starting to shake up in all the spring sports, not just baseball and softball.
Yeah, just need a little weather like this.
Weather
it was
like
chilly
today.
yesterday.
Yeah, the last 4 or 5 days.
Yeah, definitely, and like you said, Glenn, it's we're past the midway point now. It's starting to heat up, and the state tournaments are right around the corner in mid-May.
Matter of fact, we had a softball game on a live stream earlier today. We were down to Cesar Rodney, and Middletown edged the Riders by a score of 3-2. Really good pitching matchup with Reese Founds of Middletown and Peyton Shields of Cesar Rodney. Another final today, Delmar beat Seaford. And that's about it, but games that were postponed from all the weather issues we've had the last few days with the rain and then wet field conditions. So coming up next, it's the undefeated Appoquinimink High School baseball team. It's Jags night at Middletown B-Dubs, and we'll be back after this on Delaware Live Weekly.
The things that matter most happen right in our own backyard. Our neighbors, our schools, the places we go, and the people we know. And now there's one news outlet where our story is told. Delaware Live. Locally owned community-based news. Free to every reader because Delaware's future belongs to all of us. Quality journalism we can trust to help us take on the day. Delaware Live. Our state, our news, our home. The things that matter most happen right in our own backyard. Our neighbors, our schools, the places we go, and the people we know. And now there's one news outlet where our story is told. Delaware Live. Locally owned community-based news. Free to every reader because Delaware's future belongs to all of us. Quality journalism we can trust to help us take on the day. Delaware Live. Our state, our news, our home. The things that matter most.
Your home, your community. It's not just where you live, it's where you belong. At Dover Federal Credit Union, we understand what it means to be local. We started here, and we're not going anywhere. We're as local as it gets, and we like it that way. We're not just a financial institution, we are the local credit union that you can trust. Local people, local decisions. Dover Federal Credit Union. Your home, your community. It's not just where you live, it's where you belong. At Dover Federal Credit Union, we understand what it means to be local. We started here, and we're not going anywhere. We're as local as it gets, and we like it that way. We're not just a financial institution, we are the local credit union that you can trust. Local people, local decisions. Dover Federal Credit Union.
Welcome back to Delaware Live Weekly from Middletown Buffalo Wild Wings as we feature now the Appoquinimink baseball team and head coach Mike Torres. Coach, why don't you take a second and introduce or have the players introduce who you brought with you tonight.
Absolutely. Hey, well, first off, thanks for having us. We appreciate
sure,
it.
no problem.
To my left is Evan Bolden. He's a senior. Chase Fleming, a junior, and Aiden Deacons, a senior as well.
Okay, great to have you guys on. You're off to a great start. We have you ranked number 1. That's usually the kiss of death with us. I don't know whether you saw it during the basketball season, but every time we put somebody number 1, they promptly went out and lost their next game.
Yeah, no.
They've been number 1.
Yeah. You guys have had us number 1 a little bit, so I think we're okay. Fingers
Baseball and
crossed.
softball have been holding true so far. Knock on wood.
Yeah.
So, Mike, why don't you tell us a little bit about the players that you brought, the season that they're having, and the season on a whole? Because, like I said, you're off to another great start.
Yeah, it's been a great year so far. Specifically, I'd say our pitching has been great, and it all starts there, obviously. And these 3 guys are the 3-headed monster, if you will, that we have. So I figured why not bring them in with me and talk about their success a little bit as well.
Okay, Mike.
Evan, you look pretty studious with the. Thank you. Mike, you won the championship in 2019.
Yeah.
You missed the season, and then last year you played DMA. Hey, you were on that team. Talk about some of the differences in adjusting to new players. obviously people graduate. What's it been like now that you were a freshman on that team? What's it like being one of the leaders now on this team?
It's definitely a big step. It's fun to introduce to new players, get new relationships with everybody. See the younger guys picking up slack, counting on each other, and it's fun to see. So.
Is it different being the leader now, or?
I feel like everyone's kind of their own leader in their way. Mm-hmm. To be honest with you, it is a big step. Everyone looks up to me, and I like that. But yeah, overall, it's been fun.
Awesome.
Very fun.
Now, usually what we ask, one of the tough questions when we have a team on with a coach is, you've eaten here probably a few times, so what's your go-to sauce here at Buffalo Wild Wings? We're going to start with you, Coach, and go right around.
I like honey barbecue. Yeah, that's my favorite. I can't do too much spicy, so honey barbecue is my go-to.
Yeah, my go-to is going to be honey barbecue too.
That's 2. What do we have in the back row?
I'm gonna go with the mild.
Okay.
Asian zing and Parmesan garlic.
Coach, my granddaughter played softball for Appoquinimink from 2017 to 2020. Of course, she had the COVID year, so she didn't get to play her senior year. And I'm always telling everybody, I don't care, it can be calm everywhere else in the state. But when you have a game at Appo, it's windy like crazy.
Yeah.
So do you guys use that to your advantage? Man, that's home field advantage there.
Yeah, the guys actually always joke. The biggest thing when there's clear skies, we always do pop flat priorities and just kind of get after it with the wind a little bit. It's actually funny that you mentioned that, because I always tell people when I pull into the Appoquinimink parking lot, it's like a lot windier there than it is anywhere else. So it's just kind of like known. Yeah.
There are some trees around them, not too many.
Yeah. Our field's better than the softball field, I would say, as far as the wind goes. We have a little bit more there.
Yeah.
But still, it can be tough sometimes. Yeah.
Evan, talk about your start this year after, last year didn't have really the way you wanted it to, but just talk about how you turned that into a learning experience and made it a positive for this season.
It's just good energy to take into the off season. Good little goal to look forward to. So every time I step on the mound, it's just another day to get better for myself and to help out my team.
How about you guys in the back row? Let's talk about
Chase, you go.
I didn't hear the question.
turning last year's finish into a positive heading into this year.
I mean, yeah, like when they would last year's loss, it just I think it just made us focus all on one goal this year, like get back to that stage and hopefully come out on top this time.
Yeah, back to what Chase said. Didn't end so well. We had some, I would say, some feelings. You forget, you got to practice more, and at the end of the day, we're going hard at it, and it's working for us right now.
Obviously, something's working.
Yes, it is working. Mike, you've really done a great job with the program in Middletown. Of course, as Mike mentioned, 2019 state champs, and then you were runner-up last year. Off to another great start. Talk to us about the teams that you have coming up, because you got a couple of really tough ball games coming up. There seems to be pretty decent parity amongst the top 10 so far in the state.
Yeah. So one thing that we take pride in is being able to schedule the best teams in the state at the beginning of the year. Me and my coach were actually just talking about it over some wings right here. It's at the end of the year we're pretty battle tested, and I'd say we're probably as battle tested as anybody else in the state. We always look forward to playing the St. Mark's, the Sallies, the teams from up north, and then also trying to take on that down south talent. Sussex Central, we have them on Saturday. So again, we just try to do the best we can in scheduling these big teams, because at the end of the year, you're going to see them anyway. So why not see them once, kind of get a feel, and then ultimately be in those games with them and hopefully prevail, because then you got that edge on them towards the end of the season as well.
Maybe one of you, Evan or Chase, maybe one of you guys takes Sal's and tell us what you know about Salesianum and what people can or what you expect to see from the Sal's tomorrow afternoon.
We know they're a good team, and we're ready. I don't know.
What would you say is the strength of Salesianum? Have you seen them play this year at all? Or?
I think they swing it well.
I
I think they swing it well. They got a couple good arms, so I think it's going to be a good game. So.
And like Mike mentioned, you guys play seem to play the tough teams every year, so you know most of these guys or all of these guys. And I imagine you played club ball with them before.
Yeah.
You know a lot of them. Hey, about Central, who wants to tackle Sussex Central? What do you know about the Golden Knights?
I'm not sure if they know much
know.
about
No?
them. Yeah.
We don't know.
We took so actually, I'll put it all out there. So last year we had a week where we lost to Concord, we lost to Sally's, and then we lost to Sussex Central all in 1 week. So at the beginning of this week, I kind of said, look, guys, like, here we are again. We're in a decent place, and obviously these two teams are going to want to come take that from us, and we just have to play our game. So in regards to Sussex Central, their coaches are actually good friends of mine. I actually roomed in college with one of them. So I know a decent amount about them. I know they have a really good arm and a pretty good offense. So it's just a matter of, again, playing our game, pitching the way we've been pitching all year, and taking care of the baseball.
Coach, I heard the softball team got together today and they met at the miniature golf after practice. So you guys have any kind of bonding out of your baseball?
Yeah. So last year we actually did. We went to the bowling alley right here in Middletown right before the state championship, just to kind of keep it loose for the guys. This year, Coach Mascara and I, and they don't even know this yet, we've been talking about maybe doing like a paintball day down in Townsend.
Right.
So it might be something to look forward to later on in the season.
I'm going to just ask you guys real quick. Going around the school, the softball team is undefeated. You're undefeated. What's it like? Is there any kind of buzz in the school about the baseball and softball teams, or do you guys have to remind people, come on out, watch us play? Chase wants this. He's ready to go.
There's actually in our school, there's like all the whiteboards. There's like people saying like all the girls write like the softball team is better than the baseball team, and like when we see it, we'll scratch it out and put no baseball team. Like I think it's just beats
You have to
each
have
other.
a putt golf tournament.
Yeah,
You guys, right?
something.
It's got to be pretty exciting to walk around 8-0. That beats the alternative, right, Mike?
Yeah, absolutely, 100%.
All right, one final question for you guys, and we'll start with you.
All right.
Walk-up music. So what do you have playing, or what do you want played when you're walking up to the plate?
My go-to walk-up song would probably get it Back in Blood.
All right, you want to pass the mic to the fellas in the back. This is important stuff.
Yeah.
I would probably go Super Gremlin by Kodak Black.
You know that one, Glenn, don't you?
Oh yeah, it's right on my hit list.
I'd probably go Seaman Like It by NBA Youngboy.
All right, Coach, what about you?
I've never even heard of. I've never even heard of any of these people. A couple years back, you guys asked me the same thing. It'd probably be something Spanish, something nice and catchy.
Gasolina.
Yeah, Gasolina, apparently. Yeah. I feel like I'm cheating. You guys asked me that one already.
Mike's heard the question before. I think, you guys.
Yeah.
Well, Aiden Reeland was probably on the team the last time we had you guys on.
Yeah,
So.
he was.
I think it was your first year, Mike, wasn't it?
Yeah, yep, year one.
Yeah,
Year one.
2019. Awesome.
Well, guys, we want to congratulate you so far on what you've done, and best of luck the rest of the season. Maybe we'll get to see you again, but best of luck in your game tomorrow and the rest of the year. Great having you on here at Middletown.
Glenn,
Wild
that's
Wings.
4 o'clock start tomorrow.
Yep.
And it'll be live streamed on Delaware Live 302 Sports. And so you can tune in and watch. If you can't make it down to Middletown,
Yep.
or if you can't walk from the school over to the baseball field, you can sit in the parking lot and watch the game. Awesome. Thanks, guys.
Thanks a lot,
Thank you guys
guys.
so much for having us.
No
Appreciate
problem,
it.
man.
Yep.
All right.
All right, that's head coach Mike Torres, the Appoquinimink undefeated baseball team. We'll be back next with Brian Timpson and the undefeated girls Appoquinimink baseball team. See what they got to say about the guys. Right after this on Delaware Live.
First State Orthopedic statewide has 29 physicians at 16 locations. Our physicians and staff provide both non-surgical as well as surgical treatment for almost all orthopedic conditions and injuries. We are specially trained in the current state-of-the-art techniques. We serve as team physician and orthopedic consultant for over 20 high schools, Wilmington University, and many local recreational and competitive leagues. Our doctors are readily available to the local emergency departments as well as medical aid units and urgent care centers for consultation and treatment. Call for an appointment today or visit us at firststateortho.com. First State Orthopedic statewide has 29 physicians at 16 locations. Our physicians and staff provide both non-surgical as well as surgical treatment for almost all orthopedic conditions and injuries. We are specially trained in the current state-of-the-art techniques. We serve as team physician and orthopedic consultant for over 20 high schools, Wilmington University, and many local recreational and competitive leagues. Our doctors are readily available to the local emergency departments as well as medical aid units and urgent care centers for consultation and treatment. Call for an appointment today or visit us at firststateortho.com.
Hey, Mike, how you doing?
Welcome to Premier Physical Therapy and Sports Performance. We're a locally owned outpatient physical therapy practice with convenient locations in all 3 counties in Delaware. At Premier, we have experienced physical therapists with advanced credentials, but their hospitality, passion, and enthusiasm is what makes the difference for you. Find our convenient locations at premierptsb.com.
You may have tried physical therapy.
But have you tried Premier?
Welcome back to the Middletown Buffalo Wild Wings. It's the Delaware Live Weekly, and we just got done having head coach Torres and the Appoquinimink undefeated baseball team, who, by the way, we have ranked number 1 in our rankings. Now we're going to hear it from the girls because we only have them ranked number 3, and they're undefeated at 8-0, behind Caravel and Sussex Central, the 2 teams that played in that classic championship game last year. And I know Brian Timpson would love to get this group to a title game. Coach, welcome to the show. Glad to have you here.
Thanks for having us.
It's been a while since football season.
It has.
Yeah?
It has.
Why don't you tell me who you have here, or have the girls introduce themselves, and we'll go around the,
You introduce
the
yourselves?
microphone,
Yeah,
introduce yourself, the
There you go.
positions that you play.
Position you play, and your name.
Julia, and I play shortstop.
Julia, you have a last name?
That's
Like
Wags.
Lars. Hey, I'm Liv Marinucci, and I'm the catcher.
I'm Haley Watlington, and I'm the second baseman. I'm Savannah Laird, and I'm the pitcher.
I'm Alexia Fitzgerald. I play right field.
And just so people know, we also have the rest of the team sitting out there watching. So.
Yes, yeah. They're perched right by our speaker, listening intently to what this guy's going to say, because he's the one that does the softball rankings. And apparently you have a problem. You have an issue with me. Now, let me tell you, the rankings is just for fun thing. And I told you guys earlier, it only counts to be number 1 when the championship game is over.
That's what we care about, yes.
Yeah, so right now, Caravel and Sussex Central got the big target on
They
their
can
back.
have
Don't
it.
worry about it.
They
right?
can have it.
Great start to the season again, Brian. You've done a great job with the program since you've been there at Appoquinimink High. And tell me about the season so far and how you think your team has performed.
So we've had a great start, obviously, as you just stated. You know, besides the undefeated start, it all goes to the girls here and the girls that are out there, and the work that they're putting in and how they're trying to get to that goal. I know the seniors have made a statement that they needed to be at the end and all year. Even though they have made comments, they know that the end of May ranking is the one that matters, and you know that's what they want to go and get. You know, been a little while since we got there, and we want to get back and be in that situation. But their dedication, their work, and how they push each other is why we're doing so well.
Now, Savannah, you are new to the team this year. You transferred in. So how has the team kind of like helped let you be part of this Appoquinimink Jaguar program?
Coming into the team, I was obviously nervous because I didn't really know anyone that well, but everyone has been super welcoming and really nice, and I think we've been doing so well because we all do get along really well, and we play really well as a team, so I think that's a huge aspect of why we're doing so well.
Well, talk about getting together really well. I understand that you girls got together after practice and you went to the miniature putt-putt across town.
We did, yes.
So, number 1, who won?
Me. Did you?
All right.
No, the scorecards.
45.
The scorecards did read Savannah and then Fitz. But the scorecards were made by them.
We have a little disagreement.
I know the coaches group has something to say about it, but we'll give them the credit for that today.
How about hole-in-ones? Anybody have a hole-in-one?
Yeah. Did you? Our other pitcher had a hole in one. Yeah.
Okay,
Who's
so
that?
we had a couple.
Ayla?
Coach, how'd you do?
I didn't play well.
You don't know.
And I do play often. There was one
Right.
summer, me and my son, every day, we went around the state of Delaware, and today was not my day.
No balls went out into the street?
Well, one did, didn't it, Savannah?
Yeah, I accidentally hit it into like the rocks, but it didn't go out in the street. It was into the rocks.
That scorecard.
It was a
exactly.
rise ball.
Yeah, it was a rise ball.
And it kept on rising and
Yeah,
it
it just
took off.
ran.
Hit somebody's windshield.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, ladies, you've been off to a real good start. You have 2 games back-to-back Friday, Saturday. What do you guys know about Charter and St. Mark? Who wants to tackle Charter? What do you guys know about them? All right, right behind. Yeah, we had a volunteer.
Hale, go for it.
So last year, whoa, that's really close. Oh, okay. Last year we played Charter and we started off good, but towards the end of the game it got a little rough. And I'd say they're always an iffy team, but they're good competition and they have players. So I know every game's gonna be hard. So
And that game's at your place, right?
yeah,
on Friday?
we're at home at 4.
And
I
then
think.
you turn around the next day, less than 24 hours later, Coach, and you get St. Mark's.
Yeah.
And obviously, St. Mark's has Riley Thomas, and they have some bats. Who wants to tackle St. Mark's? It looks like we've got Julia's going to volunteer here.
Obviously, every game's a game, so it's whoever shows up. And I think we've been working really well together. So, everyone's always like worried or concerned, but I think as long as we just stay within ourselves and do our best, it'll end up in whatever favor. And the
Did you play
outcome's the
them
outcome.
last year at all?
We did.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you guys have batted against Riley before, and I'm sure
Yes.
you guys have seen him outside the school.
Yeah.
You see him in club ball or whatever.
Yeah,
so.
she's on a travel team now,
She's
too.
on a travel
so.
team, okay.
Yeah.
So Friday, Saturday.
Friday, Saturday. And I think it's really showing the blend that you have. I mean, you're tough on the mound with Savannah. You've got a good defense, solid defense behind her, good, solid offense all up and down the lineup, decent team speed as well. So, Coach, it seems as though you've got all of the ingredients, and it shows. At being 8-0,
Yeah, so
you
far-
handled Delmarva Christian, a team that beat Sussex Central. We're still trying to figure that one out.
Yeah. So I think, you said it right. Like, coming in, pitching has been there. I know the girls pride themselves on how they play defensively, and that'll keep us in games. But one thing that has separated us is the way we've hit, and our top 4 or 5 in the lineup, the 4 girls we got here, with Julia and Fitz leading off, and the 3-4 combo with Haley and Liv, and Lily with that one out who's out there. She's our 5 hitter. We are tough, and you mentioned the team speed. We like the 2 at the top that can run. The bottom of the order can move them over and do some stuff, and we feel like we have a complete lineup, and hopefully it can come together at the right time.
All right, ladies, since I'm looking up at the notes here, since 2010, I have to get this right, this program is 164 and 60. I know, Brian, you've been a part of that program for a long time, but Liv, I'm going to ask you to handle this one. As being part of a program with that kind of success, do you guys feel the pressure to kind of continue that, or how do you approach when you see a number like that? And how do you approach that?
I just think that, obviously that's a big standard to keep up, but, we gel and we work and we play our own game. So it's not so much of a pressure. We just kind of play our own game. We play at our speed, we play well, and we compete and we show up. And that's been working. So, we're
Obviously,
confident.
something's working for you guys,
Yeah,
right?
we're very confident. So
Awesome.
All right, while you got the mic, hold on to it because we're going to go right on around here. We're at Buffalo Wild Wings, so you're having wings.
They had time to
What's
think
your
about
favorite
this.
sauce? What's your go-to sauce?
Oh, mild for sure.
Mild too.
Honey barbecue. Parmesan garlic.
Asian zing.
Wait, did you see
Hey, Coach?
Yeah, Coach has to give us one.
Nachos. Honey barbecue.
Honey
Maybe honey
I don't know if you
barbecue.
saw
Honey
this.
barbecue. Garlic parm, that's my go-to.
Liv and Haley in the back said mild, and Savannah got this look on her face.
Yeah, like mild?
Well, they're making fun of my honey barbecue.
I like the honey barbecue as well.
Let's keep it on the light side because I know you all have walk-up music. Now, you might have some fans out there that are in the stands and they don't know what the heck you're playing. Somebody like me.
Like us?
Yeah. So let's go around the room again. What's your walk-up music?
Fitz, you want to start this one?
Sure. Sorry. My walk-up song is Still Dre by Dr. Dre.
Okay.
Mine is Butterfly Effect.
Mine's She Feelin' Nice by Pop Smoke.
5% Tint by Travis Scott.
Call Me Maybe by Carly Rae Jepsen.
Mine's Wolves by Post Malone.
Savannah, you got to tell us who the artist is on your song.
Oh, Travis Scott.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Travis Scott.
All right. I don't know. Now, we asked the fellas if they had a bonding moment like what you did. Was it today you had the golf outing?
Yeah.
Today. I had golf outing, and the PGA is going to check the scorecard, by the way, and make sure. But the boys do the bowling thing, so they do something as well. But they told us there's a little competition going around the building, and that maybe some of the girls are putting things on whiteboards, and the boys are going behind and scratching it off. And so what do we got going on here? Just a friendly little competition?
I just said that we're better than them, which isn't proven, but we just feel each other, so we're competition for each other, and I think it's been working out pretty well.
I saw Savannah being new to the school. Push the microphone right over to the left.
I think it's great, and to have both of you at this point in the season at 8-0 and undefeated is fantastic. What do you hear from your friends and the other students or your teachers? Or do they mention the fact that you guys are having such success?
So basically at the beginning of the year, I was sitting in class and someone said to me, "Oh, the Abo team is not good." And I turned around and I was like, okay, watch us prove it. And now they're like, "Oh, they won again." Oh, okay. And I'm like, yep, we win.
So, who's the salesperson here? You tell your classmates or schoolmates why they should come out Friday and watch Appo and Wilmington Charter. Who's going to be the salesperson? Aguilar's going to take it.
I mean, the boys kind of come out and support us as much as we go to support them. So then when they come out, then other sports come out. And we all have a big friend group, and we're all just kind of gel as that friend group. So it's we post it, and we have a great team manager, Jack Pye, who always posts it. He always posts it on Instagram, so then they repost it, and then that just gives us a big crowd and fuels our energy.
So you already draw pretty well then, huh?
Yeah.
And why not? There ain't no crowd.
That's right. Well, congratulations on your season to this point. Continued success.
Thank you.
We hope to see you not only in the playoffs, but to make a deep run. But really, we're happy to have you here. And good luck in the next ball game, right? One at a time.
Maybe
and can you do something about the wind out there?
No, it's...
We don't even want to talk about
It's
it.
subtle.
Okay.
Who's the
All right.
outfielder? Who's an outfielder? So you get to deal with the wind then, huh?
I'm glad to hear you say that.
It's either that or the noise from 301. So.
The bypass. Once again, thanks, guys. Good luck the rest
Thank
of
you
the
for having
season.
us.
Glad to have you here. Head coach Brian Timpson and the undefeated Appoquinimink Jaguars softball team. And we'll be right back with more on Delaware Live Weekly right after these messages.
Ferris Home Improvements did our roof, all of our siding, including our shed, and also the windows on the house. They did an outstanding job. Our house is warmer. It's insulated better. Our utility bills are down. Our quality of life inside the house is better. We got what we paid for. Ferris was right on top of everything from the beginning. The project managers communicated every single day that they were on the job, whether it was the roofers or whether it was the siding or the window people. All the guys that worked there were great. The girls on the phone, everybody that we talked to, they've been great to work with. I would recommend them to anybody. They take what they do personal, which is very nice. And it showed in the work that they did, the communication that they have, because they did a good job. And they did a good job for a good price. We couldn't have asked for anything better. Ferris Home Improvements did our roof, all of our siding, including our shed, and also the windows on the house. They did an outstanding job. Our house is warmer. It's insulated better. Our utility bills are down. Our quality of life inside the house is better. We got what we paid for. Ferris was right on top of everything from the beginning. The project managers communicated every single day that they were on the job, whether it was the roofers or whether it was the siding or the window people. All the guys that work there were great. The girls on the phone, everybody that we talked to, they've been great to work with. I would recommend them to anybody. They take what they do personal, which is very nice. And it showed in the work that they did, the communication that they have, because they did a good job. And they did a good job for a good price. We couldn't have asked for anything better. Ferris Home Improvements did our roof, all of our siding, including our shed, and also the windows on the house. They did an outstanding job. Our house is warmer. It's insulated better. Our utility bills are down. Our quality of life inside the house is better. We got what we paid for. Ferris was right on top of everything from the beginning. The project managers communicated every single day that they were on the job, whether it was the roofers or whether it was the siding or the window people. All the guys that worked there were great. The girls on the phone, everybody that we talked to, they've been great to work with. I would recommend them to anybody. They take what they do personal, which is very nice. And it showed in the work that they did, the communication that they have, because they did a good job. And they did a good job for a good price. We couldn't have asked for anything better. Ferris Home Improvements did our...
Regulars have been enjoying Green Craft Bar and Kitchen since 2015 for award-winning food, great drink selection, and live music. Now it's your turn. Bring your friends and family to our locations in Newark, Kennett Square, and our waterfront locations on the C&D Canal and in Lewis. Even your dogs are welcome on our heated patios. Enjoy lunch, dinner, or a weekend brunch that Elle magazine said was one of the 50 best in the country, and find out for yourself what keeps people coming back to Green. Not a regular? Stop in and we'll make you one. Regulars have been enjoying Green Craft Bar and Kitchen since 2015 for award-winning food, great drink selection, and live music. Now it's your turn. Bring your friends and family to our locations in Newark, Kennett Square, and our waterfront locations on the C&D Canal and in Lewis. Even your dogs are welcome on our heated patios. Enjoy lunch, dinner, or a weekend brunch that Elle magazine said was one of the 50 best in the country, and find out for yourself what keeps people coming back to Green. Not a regular? Stop in and we'll make you one.
Welcome back to Delaware Live Weekly from the Middletown Buffalo Wild Wings. Once again, I'm Glenn Frazier alongside Mike Lang, Jason Winchell, and Nick Halliday. Had a lot of fun with both Appo coaches, Torres and Timpson of the baseball and softball teams, and I think the players had a pretty good time. They were nervous. They were nervous outside waiting in the wings, but I think they had a great time.
I'll say they didn't seem nervous when they got on, Glenn. They were really good.
No, they were very well spoken. Obviously, smart kids, courteous kids, and they were great.
I think it helps when you have more than one. If we had just had a coach and one player, then we might have seen somebody being nervous.
They have to answer every question, so that's
all right.
They did a great job.
Time for our top tens, and let's start with softball since we just got done with the Appoquinimink softball team. So this week, Caravel Academy holds on to the number 1 spot. They have a 7-0 record, and they will be playing a couple of out-of-state teams this weekend coming up. Sussex Central holds on to number 2. They have won 7 straight now. They beat Nandua, Virginia 19-0 yesterday. They're going to have a doubleheader Saturday. They've got a makeup game with Laura in the afternoon. They're going to play Middletown in the morning. So instead of a day-night doubleheader, I guess you call that a morning-afternoon.
A little bruncher.
Twin bill, yeah. So that's Sussex Central. And so they get Middletown number 7, who beat Caesar Rodney today 3-2. Appoquinimink, we said they're number 3. They've been red hot, 8-0. They have Charter Wilmington Friday, St. Mark's on Saturday. We have DMA in at number 4. And they have a 3-game winning streak after beating Smyrna. Actually, it's 4 now. They beat Smyrna 11-0, and they got by Delmar 9-7 yesterday after they had a 9-0 lead, and the Wildcats almost came all the way back. They get Sussex Tech this week. Red Lion Christian comes in at number 5, and then we all know about them. They came from 3 down to beat St. Mark's in the game that we had streamed.
Some bats on that team.
Yeah, they sure did. And they have they won a game of slugfest over the weekend against Sussex Tech. A football game broke out. That final was 16-15. The Lady Lions, just one game on the schedule this week, facing William Penn. Coming in at number 6, Delmarva Christian. They're off this week. They have a couple of games next week. Middletown at number 7. They've now won 7 straight after their opening season loss to Red Lion, as they got that win today over CR. Caesar Rodney at number 9. And at number 8, St. Mark's. Spartans have a few days off before a meeting Thursday with St. E's, and then Saturday a top 10 game with Appo. That'll be a good one. Riley Thomas against Savannah Laird.
There you go.
And once again, we mentioned the Riders of Caesar Rodney came in at number 9. Their first time they've been in the top 10 all season. They have to play Sussex Central coming up soon, but they get Charter Saturday and Sussex Tech on Thursday. And after falling out of the top 10 earlier this season, the Delmar Wildcats slide in there at number 10. They beat Seaford today after they lost that heartbreaker to DMA, and that is the softball top 10. Up next, let's take a look at the baseball. Oh, which one of you guys want to take this one on? Of course, we just had Appo, and they're sitting at the top.
I got them right here, so I can do the baseball. Number 1, Appo, we mentioned 8-0, and they play Salesianum tomorrow here. We're about Sal's in a second. Number 2, DMA, picked up another 6-1. 8-1, they picked up a win today over Tower Hill, 6-2. Sussex Central at 6-1. Of course, they were rained out against Caravel on Saturday. Game. Right. I don't know if they can handle the suspension or rain out. The game got ended in the second inning. Number 4, Salesianum, they're right down the street here tomorrow. They play Appo. Conrad, I saw the Red Wolves today. That's a good hitting team there now. 6-1 win over St. E's. Their only loss to Appoquinimink. So look out for the Red Wolves. They have a lot of pitching on that team, and they're good. St. Mark's is at 7-2. They lost last week to Salesianum. They play, when's their next game?
Smyrna.
Tomorrow, Saturday against Smyrna.
And then Sunday against Conrad.
And Sunday at the annual Sunday game against Conrad. That's a good weekend for the Spartans. Cape Henlopen moves up from number 10. They are 6-2. Middletown, not ranked last week. Well, they are now. They're 4-2. They play Salesianum on Saturday at noon. I know that. Cesar Rodney coming in at number 9. Also not ranked. Archmere at 5-2. Lost a tough one today to Concord. So we'll see how that affects them next week. They dropped from 6 to 10. We're not sure that they're going to be in there next week, but they're in there this week. They're number 10.
Now, that's baseball and softball top 10s. And guys, if you notice, 6 of the top 10 schools are the same in baseball and softball. 6 schools have both their baseball and softball teams ranked in our top 10.
Yeah, and there's some reasons for that, I would think, but topic for another day.
And preview your big game. You got the game on the live stream tomorrow, baseball. That's
sure, Salesianum and Appoquinimink tomorrow at 4 o'clock, and I don't know who's going to be there. Jason, will you be there? We're not sure who's going to be there,
yeah,
but
we'll be
we
there.
have the game for you.
There.
We'll be on. We're nailing down who's the so-called talent is for that one, but it's going to be a good one from Appo. We had a good one there last year, right? DMA, was that last year? DMA and Appo?
It was St. George's Appo.
St. George's Appo. It's always seemed to be a good game out there on that field right next to 301.
Right. So some quick lacrosse notes and soccer notes. Salesianum Lacrosse defeated Hill Academy, at the time number 6 team in the nation, and they'll play 3 more nationally ranked teams, including next Wednesday's 3:30 game against IMG Academy from Florida. And you got any comments on that before we move on to the next little bit of business?
Yeah, Salesianum is really, really good. Really good. They've moved up into the rankings, and national rankings now.
Hill went to 21, they went to 20.
Yep. They have, if you're a lacrosse fan, they have names that you recognize. They're just loaded, Glenn.
Yeah.
This is maybe, I've said it before, this may be the best Salesianum lacrosse team I've seen since I've been covering high school sports, and they've had obviously the state champion year after year after year. They're really good, and I think they're going to be right there at the end of the season again.
They have a tough stretch coming up. They have IMG, and then Malvern Prep, who's nationally ranked, and then Radnor High School, who just beat Cape Henlopen earlier this week. They're another good program. And they're also playing, I believe, a team from Ohio. So Sally's has a tough out-of-state teams coming up. So it'd be good to see where they are, but that win over Hill gets them nationally ranked now. So it's a good program. They can score goals, but you know what makes Sally special is face-offs. They win a lot of face-offs, Glenn. And in lacrosse, if you win the face-offs, normally that's a good sign.
That is huge. Well, let's stay with lacrosse because the Cape Henlopen girls lacrosse team continues to roll. They're off to an 8-0 start, including a 15-11 win over previously unbeaten Sussex Academy. Sussex has outscored their opponents 175-31 in their 9 games, and Cape scored 15 on them.
Yeah, so if you look otherwise, Sussex Academy had only given up 16 goals going into that game against Cape Henlopen. But what that says is, hey, maybe a team like Sussex Academy, in-state team, can play with Cape Henlopen in that 4-goal loss. But yeah, Cape just continues to roll. I think they're at like 135 goals and giving up like 20. So, but they just continue to roll down there, Glenn.
Yeah, speaking of domination.
Yeah.
And how about girls soccer? Middletown continues to roll as they are 8-0, and they've only allowed 1 goal all season long. Padua edged St. Mark's 2-1 in a match between 2 top 5 teams from both divisions, and Archmere scored a goal in the 79th minute to edge St. Mark's 4-3. So we got some pretty good action going on there with girls lacrosse, and I think you're right. I think Cape Henlopen gets some competition now. Looks like Sussex Academy can threaten them for a state title. What about on the boys' side? Cape Henlopen usually has good competition for Salesiana. Are they anywhere near giving them a good game?
I think so. Just looking at some of the margins of victories, they played that Radnor team, and that's their only hiccup. We'll know more about Cape Henlopen, their next 4 games, Glenn.
Mm-hmm.
A Tower Hill team that's undefeated, ranked 5th. Then they got CR. CR might not be as strong as recent years, but that game always means something.
Right.
And then they have Salesianum and the Hill School.
Okay.
So a tough 4-game stretch for Cape Henlopen boys. I think that's where we'll know where they are. And by the way, Sally's is making the trip down to Lewis this year for that
How about
game.
that?
The Hill School is not the Hill Academy.
No.
They're 2 separate schools.
2 separate things. All right, it's time now for our top performers. And we're going to begin in softball with Middletown High's Reese Founds, who had a no-hitter in a big win over Newark. And I got to see her pitch in person for the first time today. She had great movement on her ball, especially the drop ball that she has. Also, Madge Layfield from Sussex Central. She had a complete game with 12 strikeouts and a 1-0 win over Dover. And then in baseball, Zach Sophie of Middletown, 3 for 5, scored 3 runs, had 4 RBIs. I hope these are up to date. Keith Roman from Indian River went 3 for 3 with a double, a homer, and 5 RBIs. That takes care of top performers in softball and baseball. Mike, you want to take boys lacrosse?
Yeah, you took my cousin out of there, but that's fine. I'm sure we'll be okay. And the boys lacrosse, Kalen Drake's from Salesiana. He's a goal-scoring machine. 7 goals in that win over Hill Academy. And Jason, you can take this one.
All right. Nick Winchell of Friends scored 7 goals and dished out 3 assists in 2 games against St. Andrews and Tower Hill last week. Friends lost a close one to Tower Hill, 13-12, and beat St. Andrews. So a week where we saw the 6 played the number 5 and number 7 team. They beat the number 7 team and lost the number 5 team. So maybe the lacrosse rankings are accurate, Glenn.
I saw Tower Hill.
No, wait a minute. He kind of says that as though the softball is not accurate. Was that a dig?
I saw Tower Hill lacrosse yesterday. It was freezing out, but that's a solid team. They're really good.
I'm getting thrown onto the bus here tonight, that's for sure.
Yes, you are.
Yes. Well, I guess we're going to go right into top plays. It's time for the top plays. Our plays of the week brought to you by BSN Sports.
You can do them all if you want.
No, I don't even have it on here.
Here's Sam left in a nice catch. This is Wilmington Charter against Archmere, a game we streamed on Delaware Live Sports. Oh, a little humpback liner, double play against the Hawks. Charter upset the Hawks that day.
And when you can make a play like that at Frawley Stadium, it deserves top plays.
All right, this is Reagan Brady. Gets a hat trick in the win for Wilmington Friends. Video courtesy of Wilmington Friends. Oh, gets around that keeper and look out. It's a wide open net.
Yeah.
She had 2 more. How about that?
Hat trick for her. Congrats.
No.
Next, how about a stand-up triple off the fence? Was that August?
Tyler August. Glenn, this is the game that went into the dark at Wilson Field against Sussex Central. And Central had to make 2 trips to Newcastle County, Jay, in the same week.
Yeah, that's one thing Sussex Central likes to do. They'll travel.
Yeah, good for them.
We did this game. Cam Hoffman for Red Lion down the left field line. Take a look at this.
Oh, this was great. She reached over the fence in foul territory, made the catch, and then the runner tagged from second. Look at that throw. Got her, DP.
Yeah, I was really impressed. By the way, more from Red Lion coming up. Let's move on to number 6. This is Reagan Red Lion, Reagan Mendick.
Yeah.
And it's a 2-run home run. In fact, she hit it so fast, our camera could not keep up with it. Boom. You see how hard she hit that?
We couldn't see it because of the fir trees,
Reagan
but we knew it was gone.
Yeah, Reagan actually showed up between second and third.
Our camera can't.
We can't turn the camera that fast.
She's so fast.
Goldie Beacon, we had this one for you on Saturday. Martial archery Conrad graduate.
He hit this like 480.
That ball rolled out of the infield in that second field over there at Piedmont.
Just shy of a 500-foot shot.
He
Dinger?
crushed it. He crushed it.
It was
amazing.
It was.
And you can see the wind's blowing across.
Yeah, the wind was blowing from right field, and Marshall killed it.
Number 4.
I take Zach Sophie. That's my cousin. So here we go from Middletown. Courtesy of Mark Sophie, that his dad, my cousin. Mark said, "Hey, I got a video of Zach hitting this home run." I said, "Send it in," and Zach sent it out. And here he goes, rounding third and heading for home, right down there in Middletown, a home game. Oh, that's at Dover. I'm sorry. Yeah, he crushed it down at Dover. And that's another one. This is
Brandon Anderson from.
Hit it out of Wilson.
Yeah,
There you
out
go.
over the fence.
Almost dead center.
Wilson Field.
Yeah, I've been up there. That's a heck of a shot.
Yeah.
I want to do Zach, so you take number 2. And he punches home plate.
And this is courtesy of 47 ABC video.
Play number 3.
This is a walk-off single by Kyler Shepard of Delmar.
Must be the comeback school, Delmar, because they specialize in late game comebacks.
Heroics, yeah. So our thanks for that video. This one courtesy of Salesian.
Yeah, and this is Salesian celebrating their win over Hill Academy. Sally's now up 20th in the rankings, just ahead of Hill Academy, who falls to 21st.
Yeah, I was at that game. It was a great night out at Abyssinia.
And here comes number 1. Full count grand slam, Peyton Pusey, 2 outs, bases loaded, in a tie game.
Yeah, there was no doubt about shot, Glenn. As we saw, we had a very clear view of that one. Peyton, she killed. I think she had 3 or 4 hits against St. Mark's that night.
Yeah. And I watched the game, and Glenn said she was batting like 700, I think, coming into the game.
Yeah.
So it only continued to rise after that game. What a player she is, Glenn.
She had a heck of a night. I believe she had 3. She had 3 for 3 with a walker, hit by
she was on
pitch,
base
one or
like
the
4
other,
times.
but on base all 4 times, and that was one heck of a shot. Let's take one final break here, and then we'll come back with our closing comments. We're at the Middletown Buffalo Wild Wings. This is Delaware Live Weekly. We'll be back after this.
First State Orthopedic statewide has 29 physicians at 16 locations. Our physicians and staff provide both non-surgical as well as surgical treatment for almost all orthopedic conditions and injuries. We are specially trained in the current state-of-the-art techniques. We serve as team physician and orthopedic consultant for over 20 high schools, Wilmington University, and many local recreational and competitive leagues. Our doctors are readily available to the local emergency departments as well as medical aid units and urgent care centers for consultation and treatment. Call for an appointment today or visit us at firststateortho.com. First State Orthopedic statewide has 29 physicians at 16 locations. Our physicians and staff provide both non-surgical as well as surgical treatment for almost all orthopedic conditions and injuries. We are specially trained in the current state-of-the-art techniques. We serve as team physician and orthopedic consultant for over 20 high schools, Wilmington University, and many local recreational and competitive leagues. Our doctors are readily available to the local emergency departments as well as medical aid units and urgent care centers for consultation and treatment. Call for an appointment today or visit us at firststateortho.com.
Welcome back to Middletown Buffalo Wild Wings for Delaware Live Weekly. This is our final segment where we certainly thank you for tuning in and watching the live stream tonight. Time now for closing comments, guys. And Jay, let's start with you.
Yeah, well, if you're not doing anything tomorrow, if you can't make it out to Appo Field, tune into our live stream. Number 1, Appoquinimink. Number 4, Salesianum. As Appo's tough stretch of schedule continues, they're number 1 for a reason. They're 8-0. They beat good teams. They face a Salesian team that's 6-1. I think it's going to be a real good test for both teams. Sally's pulled off an extra inning win against Appo last year at Sally's. So Appo looking to return the favor this year down in Appoquinimink. So I think that's going to be a real good game. 3:45, I think 4 o'clock tomorrow at Appoquinimink.
Mike?
Glenn, I was hanging out with some of my cousins on Sunday. You know, it was Easter and we all got together. And we were talking about, I think my brother mentioned that the one day he coaches at Salesianum, he coaches freshman baseball. And he said they had JV and freshman games, but the coaches have had to umpire because they just don't have umps. And then we mentioned that the varsity baseball, the one day got one umpire per game. Folks, we need umpires and referees and officials bad. I know we had them on the show a couple of weeks ago. I mean, if you want to have these kids play the games without the coaches having to umpire themselves, please consider doing it. You can make a little bit of extra money, and you can give these kids the experience that you had when you were in high school. And please be kind to these men and women when you're out at the, whatever game it is. They don't deserve to be yelled at. But that's it. You know, it's tough to do these games with the coach. Coach has to umpire. You can't really coach.
Exactly.
And these umpires, you know, they're in it because they love the games and they love the kids.
Thanks, Mike and Jay. And don't forget, folks, you can find more news and updates on the website every day. Be sure to visit DelawareLiveSports.com. Join our website. Stay up to date on all Delaware sports. So we want to thank both of the coaches that joined us tonight and all the players from Appoquinimink High School, Coach Torres of the baseball team and Coach Brian Timpson and the softball team and all the players that came on. Our thanks to Middletown Buffalo Wild Wings for hosting our event tonight. And we are going to close our segment and our show tonight on a sort of a somber note, since we had and featured the Appoquinimink teams. They lost one of their own late last week in an automobile accident in Lewis. Number 50 on the football team, Dekai Floyd, who lost his life in an automobile accident. And we're going to go out from the program to show you a picture of the young man. Our condolences go out to the entire school, his family, and his friends. And for the show, I'm Glenn Fraser. Thanks for tuning in.